Hello and welcome to another deck profile. Today it is my updated Spellbook profile. So we'll start with the monsters. First monster I run is 3 copies of Magician of Prophecy. That allows you to search for any Spellbook card in the deck, which is extremely useful. Next I run 3 copies of Form Power Hat Tricker, which is helpful for getting more spell casts on the field, as well as a free sacrifice for my next card, which is 3 copies of Silent Magician, which is the way of getting out one of the main monsters in the deck. This is a great card. It can negate 1 spell card per turn. So if I have 1, I can negate 1 spell card. If I have 2 on the field, which is unlikely but it has happened before, I can negate 2 per turn. Then I run the last card I run 3 of is Temperance of Prophecy, which allows me to tribute it when the turn I've used a Spellbook card to special summon 1 level 5 or higher light or dark spellcast type from my deck, but I cannot special summon or activate card effects the turn I activate this effect. Now we're getting into the one-offs. The one-off monsters. I run 1 High Priestess of Prophecy for spot removal by banishing a Spellbook spell from my grave. 1 World of Prophecy, as a beats. Well, all of these are beat sticks, but this also allows me to recycle by. Is it revealing? When it's summoned by a Spellbook card, I can target 2 Spellbook spell cards in my grave, add them to my hand. I can reveal 4 to destroy all of the cards on the field. The last monster I run is 1 Silent Magician level 8. It's immune to all spell card effects. Is it? Opponent spell card effects, sorry. And it's summoned off of Silent Magician's effect when it's sent to grave. We're now moving on to the 3 offs. I run 3 Spellbook of Knowledge. I can also, another use for Hat Trick is of course sending it to the grave from my field to draw 2. It allows me to send either a Spellbook spell or a spellcast once on the field to draw 2. I run 3 copies of Spellbook of Power. Give what spellcaster monster an extra 1000 attack, and if it destroys a monster and sends it to the grave, it's just destroys an opponent's monster, so not sent to the grave, I can search for a Spellbook spell. I run, of course, 3 copies of Spellbook Secrets, which allows me to search for any Spellbook spell or Spellbook monster. Is it a Spellbook card in general? Just a Spellbook card. So that's the main search power for the deck, apart from using Magician of Prophecy. I run the last spell card I run 3 of is 3 Spellbook Starhole. For each time I activate a Spellbook spell card, I put a counter on Spellbook Starhole, and for each counter, my monsters gain 100 extra attack. And if it's sent to the grave, it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard. I can add 1 spellcast type monster from your deck to your hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of spell counters on the destroyed card. So more search doesn't hurt this deck. Let's go into the 2 offs. I run 2 copies of Grand Spellbook Tower, which is a Spellbook spell, so it works with Starhole. I can discard it for knowledge, I can search it, and this allows me to shuffle in 1 Spellbook spell. As long as there's a spellcaster monster on the field or in the grave, I can shuffle in 1 spell card from my graveyard and draw an extra card. I only run 2 copies of Faith in this deck because A, it can really easy to search and B, recycle, and you don't really want to be banishing too many cards in this build, really. But you can either banish 1 to turn a set spell or trap, banish 2 to flip a monster face down, or face up, so you can change a monster position. And 3 allows you to banish any card your opponent controls. I run 2 copies of Master. allows me to replicate any spellbook spell in the grave by revealing a spellbook spell in my hand, as long as I control a spellcaster monster. I run 2 copies of Wisdom, which gives either spell or trap immunity to a spellcaster monster. It's a quick play, so very powerful when used correctly. And you can also use it to discard for knowledge. Into Wiles, I run 1 Spellbook of Life, really as discard for knowledge. I hardly ever used it as an actual effect. That is banish 1 spellcast monster from your grave, reveal another spellbook spell in your hand, target 1 spellcast monster in your graveyard as a special summon target in face-up attack. The last spell I run is 1 Spellbook of Eternity, allows me to return banished spellbook spells to my hand. That is all of the spells that I run in this deck. Then the last 3 cards I run in the main deck are 3 Solemn Strike, primarily because it is a very good negation and you don't rely at all on life points with this deck. Only downside with the 3 Solemn Strikes is it can lead to bricks. And then a very small extra deck that I have not completed yet. I will 1 Super Quantum Mech Beast Grampulse, primarily so I can clear up level 3s that I don't need. Can't attack unless it's got Executive material, but I use it as spell or trap card destruction. And it's a quick play. If this has blue layer, which I don't run, so it's primarily for spell and trap card destruction, so I don't have to lose cards. Then I run 2 copies of number 70, Malevolent Sin. So its effect is 1% you can attach 1 Executive material and target 1 monster your opponent controls, banish it until the standby phase. Opponent standby phase, so you can use it as spot removal for a monster, allowing you to attack directly in some cases. And if this card, at the end of the damage stage, if this card attacked, I can increase its rank by 3 and it gains 300. But primarily I use it as a way of summoning out number 77, which I don't have yet, still waiting for that to arrive. But that is my deck profile for Spellbooks.